Hey guys, what's up? So that was my ACE exam results. So I not only managed to crack the exam, but I also got a 90% score. That's right, I made it, guys. So it took me 6 months. I've been preparing for this for 6 months. I didn't even get a haircut and shave. I was thinking that once I give the exam, after that I'm gonna get a haircut and shave. So anyways, yeah, I cleared the exam, and in this video I'm going to talk a little bit about how the exam was and what was my experience with the ACE exam. So the certificate and the card will come a few days later, not days, it will take actually a month because it's an international certificate. It's gonna take some time to come. As of now, they have provided me some a kind of a proof that I have passed the exam and I have got a good score. I just have a proof for that, but the actual official certificate, it's gonna take some time for it to come. So here's what I want you to do, guys. Go back to the front part of this video and just look at that score one more time. Not the score, especially the name, my name. Yeah, and then I want you to replace my name with your name. I want you to actually see your name printed over there. Yeah, and I want you to really believe that okay, this score and this is really possible and you can do it too. Okay, I really want you to visualize it. Put your name over there. Pause that video over there and put your name. Try to visualize your name over there. Yeah, so I know this might sound a little cheesy, but trust me, this is gonna work. This is gonna really help you believe that you can also do it, right? Even though probably you have probably not even started now, but that's okay. We all start somewhere, right? That's totally fine. But I really want you to believe this, that you can do it too, just like me. I'm just your average guy, right? I mean, yeah, I've been preparing for this for quite some time now, but it's maybe I'm a little excited right now. I don't know. I'm probably not. Anyways, let's get to business, right? Let's get to work. So let me tell you a few things about what went during the exam, how it was, and a little bit of details about the exam. So I went there around 1.5 hours early, and the exam was of 3 hours, exactly 3 hours. There was a timer set and you just have to start writing the exam, and you can take a break in between if you want to use the washroom and all that. There's an option called taking a break. You can do that, but your timer will keep running. So make sure that you are not drinking a lot of water before entering the exam hall, because they don't even allow you to take a bottle of water with you. Yeah, they are that strict. They won't even let you take a bottle of water. So make sure you haven't hydrated yourself a lot just before your exam, entering the exam, because you may feel like using the washroom and your time is running, right? And time is money, literally, in this case, because you pay around 28,600 for the exam. The exam fees is pretty expensive, as you know by now. So yeah, it was a 3-hour exam, multiple choice questions, and there were a lot of video questions, like around, I think 10, 15 or 20 questions were just video questions, where they'll show you a video and you have to look at that video and you have to answer some questions. Like there will be videos about, how people are doing squats and what are the muscles that are tight and how do you correct those people. So you'll get a lot of video questions on ACE, and yeah, it were mostly a lot of practical type questions. I was expecting a lot of theory, but there were a lot of practical type questions where in real life scenario, how would you deal with a situation like this? Like, should you massage a client, should you not massage a client, all these kind of stuff. A lot of questions, where a lot of generic questions were there. From special population, I didn't get a lot of questions, where there were very few questions. But when you're studying that chapter, special population, focus more on what you should do as a trainer for those clients, like people with diabetes or some other kind of medical condition. How do you train those people? What is the protocol that you need to follow while training those people? Then there were questions on emergency protocol, those chapters, like chapter 15 and 16. There were a few questions from there, like if there's an emergency like this, what should you do in that situation? There were a lot of questions on assessments, meaning chapter 7. But as expected, I was expecting a lot more questions from chapter 7, but I didn't get that many questions from chapter 7. I don't know. Most of the questions were very generic kind of questions, like conceptual questions where you really have to think and answer. And I solved a lot of mock tests, a lot of practice tests before taking this exam, and I found that few of those practice tests were slightly harder, tougher than the actual ACE exam, because the options, sorry for the interruption, I just went for a haircut and shave, like you can see. So yeah, so the options were very tough, slightly tougher in all those practice tests that I took, but here the options were kind of easy, as in I was able to guess by seeing those options. But the questions were very conceptual. It was mostly, practical type of questions, like how would you do in a situation like this, what are the things that you should keep confidential when you're talking to your client, and stuff like that. A lot of generic questions where you have to actually think and answer, use your common sense in a few of those questions. But overall, I felt that the exam wasn't that tough, probably because I was really prepared, because I gave my everything into this, as in I practiced a lot of practice tests, right? This from test.com, I went there and I purchased this 750 question kit, and I did that 2 times. Two times I solved all those 750 questions, and I made notes for each question which I felt was really difficult or I was not able to understand. I made notes, and at the last minute I again revised those notes also. So very soon I'll be making a few videos about a study guide, like which are the portions that you should really focus on each chapter, because a lot of my friends they were asking me about the same thing, because they are also preparing for ACE, and the book is really intimidating, right? As in there's a lot to study. Each chapter is like really lengthy. So I'm planning to make a study guide where I'll be explaining like which portions to focus more on each chapter, so that it will be easy for you to study the book. Yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. There were a lot of questions from chapter 10 also, like how to what kind of this, what do you call it, 1 rep max, how much percentage of 1 rep max you should use when you're training someone for hypertrophy, and questions like that. And from that small book, that Essentials of Exercise Science, I hardly got like 3 or 4 questions maximum. That's it. From nutrition chapter, maybe 1 small mathematics type problem, and just 2 questions from the nutrition chapter, and maybe 1 question from the human anatomy chapter, right? Total 3 questions, 4 max. That's it. So 96% of the questions are coming from the personal trainer manual book, the big book. I know you all guys already know that by now, but still, so I wouldn't say that just focus on chapter 7 and study chapter 7 as much as you can. No, I wouldn't say that, because I think ACE understood that, and they are making a lot of changes. So I would suggest that you study everything. Don't just focus on chapter 7 a lot. You should study chapter 7 definitely, especially anterior pelvic tilt. That question keeps popping up in a lot of mock tests as well as the main exam. But I would also ask you to focus on those first 4 chapters where you are especially the scope of personal trainer, right? Because they'll really test you. They'll really try to see that if you are a professional, if you are good enough to go and train people, right? So they'll ask you a lot of questions based on that, all those generic stuff like informed consent, liability waiver, and emergency procedures. In this situation, what should you do as a personal trainer if someone has fainted or something has happened? What should you do in that situation? Stuff like that. So basically they want to check if you're ready as a personal trainer to go out there and train somebody and not cause any kind of harm to the public, right? That's the main intention. So whenever you're studying those chapters, remember that you need to focus on those practical application part. So focus a lot on key concepts. In every chapter there will be something called key concepts. Really focus on that, because from there you'll get to know a lot of things from those key concepts just by reading that alone. And a lot of questions are also coming from those places. All the key concepts, all the main headings are there, right, in every chapter. Make sure you focus on those chapters, those stuff. Right now I'm kind of in that I'm not really calm right now. So I'll make a follow-up video where I'll be telling you exactly which chapters to focus more on, and what are the kind of pattern that they are using, and what kind of questions are more focused on. I'll make a follow-up video of that, and I'll also make a study guide for each chapter, explaining which portions to focus more on while you're studying, while you're going through it. But for now, yes, this is it. Yeah, so I'm really happy right now, and I want you to visualize this. I want you to really put yourself in my place, because very soon maybe you'll be in this position too, right? You'll be taking that exam and you'll get a good score, and you'll feel really good about yourself, because ACE is an exam where you cannot cheat, right? It's very strict. There were literally 2 cameras over there. I couldn't see those, but I understood that there were 2 cameras, and the supervisor was, he had a separate thing where he was looking who all are, writing the exam and all that. So there's no way you can cheat. It's not that you should cheat, I'm just saying that there's no way you can cheat. So this exam has a lot of value, the certificate has a lot of value, so you are also going to feel really good about yourself when you do this. So all the best. Like I said in my previous video, focus on chapters 1 to 11. You have to study. There's no way you can skip those chapters 1 to 11. And then 15, 16, 17. Yeah, at least if these 14 chapters you can study really well, that's it. You're more than halfway there. After that, you just have to skim through a few things here and there and take a lot of practice tests. Basically, that's it. You just need to get out of that exam fear, right? Yeah. All right, so that's pretty much it. So finally, now I can say that I am an ACE certified personal trainer. Yay! All the best to you guys too. Okay, do well, study well, and if you have any doubts, any questions, just comment below, and I'll also share with you my Instagram ID, so you can DM me over there, and maybe we can connect and talk more if you have any further questions. So yeah, that's it. All the best. Bye bye.